You can download it very soon.
What do you think, ladies? Well, this next dance we're going to do for you is our welcome dance. After Auntie Joe's welcome to country, we're going to do a welcome dance. In this dance, we stomp our feet into the ground because we believe there are spirits all around us, in the water, in the wind, in the land, in the sky. And what we're going to do, we're going to get these spirits to rise and join us here today to make this a special occasion for all of us and welcome you traditionally through dance. We call this one Mani Nabudni or Mani Taula, the welcome and good spirit dance. Would like to thank you for inviting us out here on this special occasion today, and we love performing for you fellas. Once again, we're Kuru from Kuru Youth Performing Arts from Port Adelaide, down there in Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. I hope you enjoyed our performance. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I hope you enjoy what's in store for you for the rest of the day. And once again, to everybody here today, we welcome you all, and thank you.
You can go. Well, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for as well. Not to say that whatever went ahead before wasn't equally important, but ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to all stand up, please. To welcome His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet, and his good friend, Mr. Bob Brown. Please put your hands to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Please take a seat. It's my great honour to be introducing His Holiness the Dalai Lama to this visit to Adelaide, which I think for the day might be called Adelaide Lama, the city welcoming His Holiness, who brings us, and I've been with him at the town hall this morning, this powerful message that it isn't guns, but it's truth and compassion that is power, if only we can learn to use it. His Holiness has let me know today that he has just 2 meals a day, not 3, that he sleeps well, doesn't take sleeping pills, and I have noted the fact that, having known him for more than 2 decades, he doesn't seem to age. And he assures me that this is because of the inner peace with the world. We heard from Chisholm just a while ago about the plight of the Tibetan people who are under the jackboot of an oppressive regime from Beijing, which has taken away their freedom, but not their spirit. When I was in Lhasa in 1997, just before I left, a young woman came up to me in front of the temple, slipped me a note and disappeared. And when I got back to the hotel, I undid the note and she said, "Dear sir, please work for a free Tibet. Please work for the day when the Dalai Lama can come back to our country." Well, we have in His Holiness a gift to the world. And for all of us who know him and the Tibetan people, it comes with an obligation he may not ask for, but we must give. And that is to work for the day when there is freedom and there is the rights under the Chinese Constitution for the people of Tibet to worship as they will, to enjoy a free vote, to have a free press, and to have the sunshine of freedom back in their country. Meanwhile, His Holiness gives to all 7 billion people on this planet a gift which we rarely hear in politics and we rarely hear in this age of modern materialism. And that is the gift of being a true human being with a compassion which, if we adopt it globally, means we have a great future for humanity, when so many of us are worried about how that future will go. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome to this great audience in this lovely city, in this blessed part of the world. Nobel Peace Prize winner and global advocate for the better side of humanity, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Jada? No, wait. Oh, Bob. Wait, the scow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Long time friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Takaringin Sherry.
No. Like His Holiness is start.
I talk. Huh? Yes, please sit down.
Thank you.
Although this morning I already received from one senator, I think, the one very, very useful sort of your Australian hat. So when I leaving, that I think because of the town hall, some rain. So that hat, big hat, very helpful, very practical. However, you see this hat, one American, my friend, one American, now he no longer on this planet. He gave me this. It's quite useful and very easy put in my pocket. My bag like that. So dear brothers and sisters, indeed I'm very happy having this opportunity, meeting with people. Of course, this morning also, you see, I received by mayor and some other senators like that. So more or less sort of formal sort of reception. I very much appreciate, and also have the opportunity some discussions. So just one day program here. Morning on that kind of sort of discussion period or session. Now here, public sort of talk, public meeting. I really very much appreciate the organizer who arranged this opportunity. So whenever I go, I always carry ancient Indian sort of message, the message of non-violence, a message of peace. And on the basis of these sort of concept, the genuine religious harmony, these two things that most populated democratic country, India, last 1,000 years, you see these tradition there. Modern India, perhaps in some way, a little bit too much sort of westernized, but at the same time, still is in these practice, these traditions still alive there. So I really admire these, the tradition. When I saw too much violence, too much killing, And also look, 20th century. According to some historian, the 20th century actually over 200 millions of people killed through violence. And that immense violence, if brought some benefit, create better world, then some people may say immense violence is justified to bring better world. But that's not the case. Only suffering. I believe the beginning of this 21st century, some limited violence here and there. Now, for example, now Syria, so immense violence. And recently, Iraq, Afghanistan, and also former Eastern European countries, the Kosovo War. These also, I feel, the result or symptom of the past negligence or mystic policy. In the past century, there's too much use force, violence. So that kind of sort of imprints in the generation of the beginning of this 21st century. So therefore, if we really fed up about violence, then we must make some effort. Just a prayer, just a wish, didn't sort of materialize. Not much effect. Logically, who created violence? We human beings, not other animal. So therefore, we have the responsibility. So we must make effort, at least to reduce violence. So therefore, we need special effort to promote non-violence, not through prayer, but through education. Source of conflict, so long we human beings there, always there. So then, when we face the danger of conflict, violence, that's the moment we remember, oh, violence is inhuman way of solving problem. So this is the human problem, so we must solve that human way. That is, use human language, talk. In order to meaningful talk, sincere talk, you need sense of respect, they are right, and sense of oneness of humanity, sense of human brothers, sisters, that very essential. No matter how sort of bad relations, but still human being. Still same human being on this planet. So my future depends on them also. So keep these sort of views. Then carry serious, sincere dialogue. So the India's sort of 1,000-year-old message of non-violence is very much relevant to today's world. Then on the other hand, another one, the religious conflict in the name of religion. Not only in past human history, but even today. Among same sort of follower of one sort of great master like Jesus Christ, in Northern Ireland, Protestant and Catholic, you see, some conflict. And then follower of same sort of master, Muhammad, and pray same way, and that was the follower of Quran, Sunni, Shia, some conflict. Then recently, Sri Lanka, some time back, conflict between. Again, I thought this is cold, was a little bit cold, but now too warm, too hot. Monk's robe is quite practical. If you feel cold, too much cold, then I can do like that. If hot, then go like, middle, go like that. If very hot, then go like that. Those are so formal, because of the formal dress with tie. Too hot, you have to remain like that. So, and also you see, now there are hardly no one. With dry hair. So you see these people, you see, daytime, some dress and some tie, and then particularly the dinner party, another dress, something sort of different sort of tie, isn't it? Like that, I think, because of cocktails or a cocktail party or something. Then sometimes you see some long sort of what's a day, coat like that. We Buddhist monk, you see, morning, noon, afternoon, same dress. This is good. So in any way, so religious harmony. Now in recently, and some time back in Sri Lanka, some sort of tension between Buddhist and Hindu. Then recently, Burma, Buddhist and Muslim. And also I think Sri Lanka. So these are really very sad. Other hand, I noticed in India, Indian Muslims, 1,000 years, they live side by side. Of course, in the past, there's some sort of period, the Muslim, some conflict between Hindu, Muslim, and Buddhist. And I think Buddhists also you see, suffer a lot under sort of Muslim sort of ruler. But past is past. Now, I think India really is a harmony there. Recently, I met one Romanian who carry sort of research about religious harmony in India. He told me, that's Rajasthan. See, he told me, he found one Muslim village. Village means there must be few thousand population, isn't it? So in that village, only 3 Hindu family, no fear. Completely, very friendly sort of, because of the friendly atmosphere. No fear. So that India's tradition, religious harmony, I think again it's very relevant. So therefore, wherever I go, I always talk non-violence and religious harmony. So I usually describe myself as a messenger of ancient Indian thought, Indian treasure. Among the audience, some Indians. If you're some Indian, raise hand. No Indian. One? 1 or 2. So then, now, the person who study and live according ancient Indian Buddhist institution, learning center, Nalanda. So I'm a student of that tradition, and I not only study, but I live according to the principle of this tradition. So now look, non-violence, sometimes out of fear, not indulge violence. Sometimes indifferent, not interfere.
Passive.
Passive.
To steep, not to.
Oh. So that's not genuine non-violence. Non-violence, not just a mere absence of violence, but non-violence is you have the ability to harm, to hit back, but out of respect of your enemy or troublemaker, out of respect, out of a sense of concern of their well-being, then restrain harming. That's non-violence. So non-violence is very much related with inner strength and moral principle. So the promotion of non-violence is not sufficient just merely talking about non-violence. We must deal mental level, emotional level, right? Once you develop a sense of concern of others' well-being, then since you seriously take concern of their well-being, then how can you create harms on them? And also, you see, once we develop sense of concern of their well-being, then no room to tell lie, to cheat, to exploit. Clear? So ultimately, all these harmful actions related with self-centered attitude, don't care about others' right or others' well-being, just think yourself. Then exploit, bully, cheating, or worst case, killing. So if we really want to promote non-violence, we must deal with emotion, the mental level, and also religious harmony. Automatically, once you respect other believer, whether you like it or not, you have to accept their faith, because you love them, you respect them, you actually carrying some kind of sense of concern of their well-being. So religious harmony also very much related with the sense of love, sense of respect of others' well-being. So both of these two things, they look from mental level, then very much related with the sense of love, sense of respect, this sense of concern of others' well-being. So these all major religious tradition actually carrying message of love. In order to the old tradition, except there is sort of obstacle, practice of love. So they all carry practice of forgiveness, practice of tolerance, practice of self-discipline. These are something like fence about practice of love. When you have strong sort of practice of tolerance, practice of forgiveness, then your practice of love can maintain. Otherwise, sometimes we easily become hypocrisy, telling love and compassion. But when you really face some problem, then you burst. The love and compassion now no longer there. So you see, we need practice of sort of tolerance, practice of forgiveness. Clear? So all major religious tradition carry this message. So all major religious tradition have same potential to bring compassionate person, compassionate sort of human being. Then, of course, some may say, oh, those major religious traditions are not same. You see, the one say creator, one say no creator. Big differences. Then answer is, oh yes, in the philosophical field, differences. It is necessary. Different geography, different area, different time. You see, different sort of way of life, different climate, also different sort of environment. So different way of life automatically there. So that also you see some impact on our mental sort of way of thinking, mental disposition. Therefore, we need different philosophical views, different philosophies. These different philosophies so long aiming to promote compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, self-discipline, forgiveness, these things. The different method, you see, no problem. We need, I think, for illness, same illness, but due to different age or basic body, one a little bit weak, one a little bit strong, then same illness, but you need different medication according to the person's basic sort of body, because of the situation. So similarly, people with different mental disposition, we need different way of approach to promote these values. So long, same goal, same effect, same effective, then no problem. Simply different method, but same goal. And different method is necessary. So within Buddhist tradition, I think the Shia, Sunni, not much differences, but some small differences here and there. And also Catholicism and Protestant, some practice or some tradition, little differences here and there, but doesn't matter. So within Buddhism, there are different sort of philosophical views. I often is telling people, those sort of different philosophical views in the Buddhist tradition actually is taught by the same teacher, same Buddha. But then these philosophical views are actually contradictory philosophical views. Then, you see, these contradictory philosophical views taught by same person. And then some people may say, oh, then Buddha's mind himself not very sure, not very certain what is truth, what is the right philosophy. He himself some kind of confusion in his mind. So one day he taught this philosophical views, next day different philosophical views. Nor Buddha deliberately tried to create more confusion among his disciples. No. So then the answer logically, it is necessary. Even same sort of follower of same Buddha, same teacher, there are mental differences. So mental disposition, differences of mental disposition. Therefore, it is necessary to teach different way of approach, the same goal, like that. So we can learn that experience, apply to other tradition. Yes. Or some say there is creator, some say no creator. Doesn't matter. To some people, the theistic religion is more powerful. Like you say, God. Your life created by God. And according to Christianity, I think Islam also same. This very life created by God. You see, that was a concept really very powerful to develop closeness feeling towards God. More closeness feeling. You see, there is more sort of a determination to follow God's guide, God's way, God's wish. Then also, you see, some Christian friend, you see, say, since we all created by God, we all creature of God, so we each of us have some sort of some kind of seed or nature of God there. Like you see, children, grandchildren, you see, carry some sort of genes of their father, grandfather, like grandparent, like that. So this very life, created by God directly. Therefore, we all have some kind of potential become good human being. Certainly, is God create human being to more problem? No, certainly not. So therefore, we all have the potential. So God is so kind. You see, also is give us free kasa. Free will. So sometimes we use the free will wrong way. Isn't it? So therefore, you see, the concept of creator is very, very powerful. And the creator, we all say, infinite love. And Allah, according to Muslim, Allah, full of compassion. So one Muslim friend, he told me, a genuine practitioner of Islam must extend love towards all creation of Allah. Same. Wonderful. Then non-theistic religions, like ancient Sangha philosophy, one part of Sangha philosophy, no concept of creator. That's, I think, 3,000 years old in India. Then, about 2,600 years ago, you see, Mahavira, that's the founder of Jainism. Then, more or less same period, I think same century, Buddha came. So founder of Buddhism. So these three are, no concept of creator, but rather self-creation and the concept of law of causality. So every experiences come from previous action. So now these sort of non-believer, non-theistic religion emphasizes your own responsibility about your own future. If you do well today, in future you get benefit. If you do wrong things, mainly harming other, you get negative consequences. If you do helping other, bring more happiness to other, you get benefit. So different way of approach, but same same purpose or same effect, like that. So therefore, each religion its own beauty. So look that, then harmony, you see, develop. So now these topics, wherever I go, I always telling these things. So I really love meeting with public. Because you see, these things, the real promoter of these things are you people, public, not leaders or politicians or leaders or government. People, ordinary people. Each of you have the potential to create, firstly, compassionate heart. Then, through that way, you can develop firm conviction about non-violence. You develop fed up about violence. Then, automatically, more willingness to follow non-violent principle. And with that, automatically develop respect of other tradition. Now here, I usually use the talking or thinking seriously. Recent one report, it says, at a global level, one report says, out of 7 billion human beings, over 1 billion human beings are formerly, say, non-believer. So over 1 billion human population, actually non-believer. So some of the people, my friend, who consider moral principle, moral ethics, must be based on religious faith. Then those non-believer, no basis of moral principle. If we let them just wild, quite a big number, 1 billion, over 1 billion. And secondly, these also human beings. They also want happy life, do not want suffering. So we must have some way, you see, to bring conviction in these non-believer. Moral principle, moral ethics are very relevant, their own future, their own happy life. So we must find ways which not based on religious faith and sort of promote ethics. Now here also you see the India, last I think over 3,000 years, one concept, the secularism. Here, according to Indian understanding, secular, the meaning is respect all religions and also non-believer. There's one school of thought over 3,000 years in India denying any value of spirituality, reject any sort of spiritual concept. So that the rest of the school of thought, you see, describe this as nihilism. Nihilism. And these people are nihilist. So, rest of different sort of spiritual school of thought, you see, criticize this view. But refer person who hold this view, refer as a sage. So there is sort of the indication. Respect these people. And argue their views, but respect them. So that's India's tradition. So secular also means respect non-believer. So now today, over billion non-believers, we must respect them according to secular ethics. Then secular does not mean disrespect religion. Secular, as I mentioned earlier, respect all religions. Look, independent, when India got independence, the India's constitution actually based on secularism. That does not mean Indian constitution disrespect religion. No. Those great sort of Indian lawyers and also sort of these are leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and some other who really created this secular-based constitution. They themselves very much religious-minded people. So, some my friend, some Christian, some Muslim, they rather reserved when I use the word of secular. So they even suggest to me I should not use the word secular. Then one recent sort of event in America, Wisconsin University. This is some discussion, some scientists, some scholars, and among them one English scholar. What? Lord Laird, one old Englishman, really dignified, had a big nose, and also he speaks English, the pure English accent, wonderful, not Australian accent. Or some Chinese or some Japanese, the English, or rather, it's difficult to understand. Then some Indian also, particularly South Indians, when they speak English, something. Of course, I have no sort of no right to criticize. My own English is very bad. So I asked him, you are the Englishman, so you have the real authority about the English language. And your understanding about English is authentic. So I asked him, the meaning of meaning of secular, any sort of the meaning, any implication of negative towards religion? He said, no. Then at the meeting, I think a few hundred people there. So I expressed my appreciation. Now I have confirmation from one Englishman about the word of secular does not mean any sort of negative towards religious faith. So I have some confirmation. So actually there's no other choice. These were believing human beings, no interest about religion. If moral ethics based on religious, because of the ethics, and secular is something because of the
Negative.
and also you see secular is something negative towards religion, then you see, you must find a different way of approach. A non-believer, still a human being, but then we have to find the way to educate these people through education, bring conviction about these moral ethics. There's no other choice except secular way. It's quite common sort of usage, the secular education. After French Revolution, I think education, say, must avoid any religious sort of faith, religious teaching, something like that. So we call secular education. So now existing secular education is actually lacking about education about warm-heartedness or education of ethics. In the ancient time, one time I invited by Bologna University in Italy. The 1,000 years, or say 1,000 sort of was the anniversary. So, over 1,000 years, the separate education institution started or exist in the European continent. I think India, like Nalanda, actually the university. So in the European continent, at least over 1,000 years, the education institution started. At that time, it is quite okay. Newly developed education institution take about brain development or knowledge. Moral ethics is concerned, church take full responsibility.
No.
So go quite balanced. Now time change, time passes, the church, influence of church sometimes a little bit degenerate. Decline. So as I mentioned earlier, the number of non-believer also now increasing. And then family value also a little bit sort of decline. Therefore, now education institution alone should take both responsibility, look after brain and look after heart or heartedness. Then secular education field, you cannot put religious sort of faith. Then, like you say, a multi-religious community, if you try to teach ethics based on religious faith, then what religion? More complications. So, something neutral as far as religious faith is concerned, something neutral, that's the secular. So, if we want to introduce an existing modern secular education about moral ethics, education about warm-heartedness, education about moral ethics, there's no other choice except secular way. So we already working, some scientists, some educationists, some thinkers. We in America and also in India, we are working you see, they
Create.
carry research work to how to introduce in existing modern secular education field some moral ethics, education for moral ethics. So I always you see trying to mention now we world global level facing some moral crisis there. For that we need special effort to promote ethics or moral ethics. If you rely on religion, it will be limited, never be universal. So this crisis universal. So the countermeasure, that also should be universal. So the only practical way is through education, normal education field, some education about moral ethics. So here now the very basis of all major religious tradition actually based on secular ethics. What is secular ethics now? Mainly biological, on the basis of biological factor. We are social animal. We come from our mother. I think here, perhaps the few thousand people here, each one come from our mother. Then those individuals who received maximum affection when you are young from mother, I think in deep insight, much more sort of peace, much less fear. Those individuals who received less affection from mother, and you see some harassment, or bully, or abuse, then these people, no matter how successful outwardly, deep inside, sense of insecurity, sense of fear, distrust from other. So we are social animal. Therefore, friendship is very essential. Friendship comes trust. Fear and trust go contradiction. More fear there cannot develop trust. With fear, how can develop friendship? Even animal, the friendship with animal, show genuine affection. Then they show us trust. Just a feeding, not work. There's some birds quite clever. When we give some kasota, food, then pick up fly. So never show appreciation like that. Then more sort of
Feeding. If you feed them.
regularly feeding, same face, same dress. Then gradually these birds also, you see, they develop some kind of familiarity with that person. Then gradually, even you see feeding by your own hand. And sometimes you see, can you see
Bat.
can bat. So, you see, these are not come from religious faith. Anyone feel any church or temple among the animal? No. Any preacher? No. No religion. So, but affection, animals, very much so, kasota, very much related. These are biological factors. Those animals, they are youngster, youngster's survival entirely depend on mother's care, then this sort of affection come. Then those animals survived by their own effort without mother's care, then much less affection. This is biological factor. So we are, biologically, we need affection. After we born, without mother or someone else's care, within a few days we die. So next few years, the mother take full care and provide full affection. Then we not only physically also grow well, but mentally also grow well. Some scientists, some medical scientists, you see, say after birth, next few weeks, simply mother's physical touch is the key factor for proper development of the brain. So young, sort of infant, there's no knowledge about affection or about mother, the recognition of mother, but biologically, it's totally relying on that person. Immediate after birth, totally relying on that person. That person is touching their physical, feel safe, feel happy. That's a biological factor. So we all equipped seed of affection. Person who received a lot of affection from mother, from others, also have the ability to show other affection. So we all equipped with that. Now then the question, and we already have that sort of compassion there biologically, then what need effort? Now answer is, when we are young, very much sort of alive, this inner value. And we grown up, particularly the society where not much talking about these values. Only talks, when we read newspaper or television, sports or money, a number of dollars, like that. And all the advertising, some because of the material values. No one telling, no one sort of explaining the importance of warm-heartedness. So the society grown up that kind of atmosphere. And moral teaching in the church, in the religious field, there. But then not much interest. Those people who have not much interest, then now, you see, this deeper human value, then what say, Kasa?
Becomes dormant.
Becomes dormant. The other side of our brain, aggressive. Aggressive, very much related with self-centered. Aggressiveness with compassion is good. Aggressiveness with self-centered attitude, bad. And also sense of competition with love, compassion is right, good. But sense of competition with self-centered attitude is negative, harmful. And also, you see, this strong sense of strong self combined with compassion is right, very good. A sense of strong self with self-centered, or say the selfish, because of the selfish motivation, then it is bad. So therefore, existing education and environment and the very way of life or culture, materialistic way of life. So
totally neglect about these values. Although we have potential, but we never pay attention, then it's dormant. So now time comes, we pay more attention about these basic values. And material value also very important. But at the same time, not expenses about inner value. Must go together. That also through education. So that wherever I go, I always talking these things. So, indeed, I have great honor, have the opportunity to talk, to share these points with you, and please think more. If you think this is some worthwhile to further think, then think more, and discuss among yourselves, and particularly those people who have some sort of connection with education, then think more, discuss how to introduce in existing modern education field. Then sometimes some people, you see, my recent book, the title, Beyond Religion. So that actually, that title, not my recommendation. The publisher, you see, put that way.
Chose.
So when I received that copy, I little concerned. The beyond religion means something above religion. This is not the meaning. Beyond religion means actually any religion, there is limitation or boundary, their own follower. The topic which I am saying, I am explaining, the secular ethics is no that kind of boundary. Entire 7 billion human beings, you see, cover entire 7 billion because of the whole, covered 7 billion human beings. So that's the real meaning. So I was told, you see, I think Sydney, some people, you see, carrying some kind of effort or work for promotion of secular ethics. There's some religious believer, religious organization, a little bit reservation. And also I was told in Quebec, in Canada, one time, I think 2-3 years ago, one group of people, actually they carry teachers training about secular ethics. They invited me. I also have the opportunity to, they asked me some talk. So there is that kind of movement. Then there is some religious group, a little bit critical about that. I think that's due to lack of understanding about the real meaning of secular. So they consider secular is something negative towards religion. That's totally wrong. If there are some people who have some sort of reservation, I can give you assurance. The secular education, secular ethics education is actually basis of all major religious tradition. Once children, through education, firm conviction, secular ethics, then on top of that, further development, religious faith, immense help. Then religious faith also become truly genuine religious faith. Otherwise, in deep inside, not much conviction about moral values, then religion carry like a custom. Then sometimes religious people also, we can see some corrupted religious people. I myself also, you see, constantly watching or checking, whether, you see, I'm really doing sincerely or truthfully. Otherwise, you see, sometimes religious people not seriously follow religion, then religion, there is danger, teach us hypocrisy, telling something nice. and doing something different. So these, I think, religious people not seriously carry their teaching or seriously practice their teaching is due to lack of firm conviction about moral ethics. So from kindergarten, thoroughly educated about moral ethics, value of moral ethics, then put religious faith, truly become genuine religious believer and serious and sincere believer. So that's actually sort of making sort of foundation of all the major religious tradition. And also another word is to make fertile land. Then various different religious tradition seed can grow very well. Clear. So that's about my talk. Now some questions. Do you have some questions? Oh, good. Oh, then I would like to express to say my appreciation those local people, indigenous people sort of also their dance on their
Show.
Their performance. I really appreciate.
Thank you.
Actually, I very much just want to compare my hand and their sort of handprint size. I very much want to check that, but then no time. Okay, thank you.
Please put your hands together. My word. Oh, my word. I need to hear.
Yes, sit down.
Thank
sit
you.
down.
Thank
sit
you.
down.
Thank you very much. My word. How are we going to digest all of that? There's a lot to digest.
Yavrum son batı kanresini sözü yudol bedik taktakete ve koresi.
You have given us a lot to think about and a lot to digest. It will take us for the rest of our lives digesting just that bit.
I think, I think now I may say, please buy more books about my books.
Beyond religion.
So I get more royalty.
That's human. That's human. We have some questions.
Actually, when I wrote these books, I never thought, some sort of income from these books. Then later, I found, some sort of royalty from these books. So I set up some Kazoda trust in America and also in India. So all the royalty directly go to these trusts. I myself, as I usually describe myself as a simple Buddhist monk. And then, moreover, I'm longest guest of Indian government. So my daily sort of expenses and also travel expenses within India, all met by Indian government. So I'm quite rich.
Oh.
Yes.
Your
So you
Holiness,
should think of these
Your
more seriously. And then, if you really feel some interest, then further sort of analyze, further think, further discussion. That's important. And implement your day-to-day life. Like that.
Your Holiness, before I address the questions, you're talking about being rich. So I thought maybe I should share some reason why I think I'm rich too. Yes.
Good.
Right. Well, you see, I've got silver in my hair, and I've got gold in my teeth, and I've got crystals in my kidney, and I have sugar in my blood, and I have lead in my back there, and I have iron in my arteries, and I have an inexhaustible supply of natural gas.
That me also sometimes.
So I'm very rich.
When in aeroplane, sometimes this gas problem comes. then you see, difficult to let out. So occasionally, you see, look around, then remain like that.
You have no dog.
Huh?
You have no dog.
Kasa?
Dog.
Go where?
Key Lama.
Here. Yes, I have.
Because then you can kick the dog, because then they'll think it's the dog with the gas.
That I didn't notice. That I didn't notice.
There are a few questions here. I'll start off with Denise. Denise said, we'll ask you, in your experience, what makes you truly happy?
Kasa.
Now, to give only then to give the contest correct.
I believe, see, the peace of mind. That peace of mind also is to come, firstly, warm-heartedness. That, I think, reduce ill feeling towards other, and also reduce this sort of distrust. I always open. For example, when I come here, although it looks day by day, 4 or 5 hours talk continuously. Physically, sometimes little feeling of tiredness afternoon. But mentally, no feeling of tiredness. When I give talking or question answer, my mind completely relaxed. So full rest. So that I never consider myself as something special. If I consider myself something different from you, like I'm Buddhist, even more, I'm His Holiness Dalai Lama, or even if you consider I'm Nobel laureate, then actually you create yourself as a prisoner. I forget these things. I simply consider I'm one of the 7 billion human beings. We are mentally, emotionally, intellectually, mentally, we are same. When I meet people, I always feel I'm talking another human brothers, sisters, no differences. So that really gives me inner peace, no anxiety, no stress. If I too much sort of emphasis about the secondary level of differences, then some stress come, some anxiety, some nervousness also sometimes came. Like that. These are destroying our peace of mind.
Thank you. If Denise is here, I hope that answers your question. Then we have another question from Rainier. People in the Western materialistic world are addicted to a form of happiness that is dependent on external factors.
That's right.
Right.
That's
What
right.
does the more stable kind of happiness that we should aspire to look like? What is the what does it look like? The more stable kind of happiness that we should aim for.
I think I already mentioned is the ultimate source of satisfaction within ourselves. If we pay more attention about that, then more longer period about the satisfaction or happy mood. Now here, I think worthwhile make distinction. Certain satisfaction through sensorial experiences. That's hearing music, seeing sports, or taste like that, and also smell. Good smell. So, you see, you see, through sensorial feeling or experiences, that gives you some satisfaction, that very temporary. So long music there, some kind of happy feeling there. But then, without relying sensorial experiences like faith or compassion, some other sort of deeper sort of thinking, then not relying on sensorial experiences. For example, faith. According to theistic religion, faith towards God. Not relying on sensorial. Of course, seeing image of Jesus Christ or cross, that's minor. But mainly is visualize about Jesus Christ or remember about Jesus Christ sort of story, these things. Then develop single-pointed faith. That gives you immense sort of satisfaction and peace. So that not relying sensorial experiences. So these things can long lasting. Like that. So as a result of practice of love, compassion, think about entire sentient being. As a Buddhist practitioner, entire sentient being. And not only is it thinking this one life, but life after life. One prayer on Buddhist sort of literature, Buddhist text. One ancient 8th century Indian Buddhist master, one of his prayer is, so long space remain, so long sentient beings suffering remain, I will remain in order to serve them. So that kind of a prayer brings you immense sort of strength. Not only just days and weeks and months or years or life, but because of the infinite sort of life, so infinite time. So that really brings inner strength. More inner strength there, and more sort of confidence of purpose of life and fulfillment about that purpose, then you always feel happy. These are the, so there's differences that I think the modern lifestyle, always sensorial level, isn't it? So that I think through education, through awareness, I think with the help of those scientists and thinkers, I think eventually we can develop more deeper sort of experience about our life. Otherwise, too much materialistic society, if may I say so, something like animal only sensorial level experience, not much thinking power. So materialistic life, very superficial. So, and then also you see now, these days some young student, you see too much sort of spend time with television or computers. So less sort of thinking, use real or computer here. Just a material computer, you totally rely or you spend whole sort of days, that I think harmful to develop your own ability to think or to memory all these things. So one of our traditional way to learning, memorizing these difficult texts, memorize. At the beginning, difficult. Sometimes we feel unnecessary. But long run, very, very helpful. Memorize all these difficult texts, then that immense help to keep kasota, to keep some knowledge. That also helpful to sharpness of your mind. And I notice, you see, those real sort of scholars who spent many years memorizing and always use sort of the intelligence and debate. These, even they become old, their memory or their mind quite sharp. So a lot of work, investigation or thinking, these are, I think, very, very helpful to keep active your brain. I think very useful. But still worthwhile make some investigation. Next question.
Last question is it wrong to be happy when many people are suffering so deeply? That's from Lisa.
I think, you see, suffering or a little bit sort of concern, out of sense of concern of others' well-being. Yes, you also develop some kind of sort of sadness or sometimes sense of concern. But that sadness or concern is actually developed through immense self-confidence and strength. So one's own suffering, one's own sort of problems, these some kind of overwhelming suffering on you. So in deep level, self very weak. So some kind of sort of sense of sort of suffering or worry, out of sense of concern of others' well-being. In deep level, tremendous sort of courage. Not thinking, not concerned about yourself, but thinking more concerned about others' well-being. So there is tremendous sort of self-confidence there. So that makes differences. They are never sort of get some kind of feeling of overwhelming that problem. So you can on the surface some kind of sort of anxiety, some kind of worry, but deeper level, full of strength. That big differences, like that.
All right.
So you can be intellectual level, you see more concern about these things, and but not disturb your peace of mind. That can be done. That can be trained.
So basically what you're saying is that you can be concerned for other people's welfare, but without actually going under yourself. You'll give yourself permission to feel good about your life and yourself. Pardon me.
I mean, when you think about your own problem, particularly, see, they look your problem from very narrow, short-sighted, selfish way, then that problem looks unbearable. When you look that same sort of tragedy, same problem, look from wider perspective. Firstly, when you look this problem, not something very unusual thing on me, not that way, but millions of people have that same sort of problem. Your mind, I have a lot of companions, right? Then also you see, they look that tragedy through various angles, more holistic way, then often you can see that tragedy also some positive things there. Any event there are many different aspects. From one aspect, negative. From another aspect, there are some positive. So, because the things are relative, compare this is good, compare this is bad, the same event. So therefore, you see, look from a wider perspective, more holistic way. You see, very helpful to reduce anxiety or worry like that. So now combination, wisdom or intelligence and warm-heartedness, these two combined, are very, very helpful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
The next question is from Cynthia, directed at Your Holiness, directly, personally. She said, our current times appear to be very troubled and chaotic, and can sometimes be overwhelming and depressing. So what spiritual practices do you personally do to stay joyful and so happy?
I think this question, the one lady,
Cynthia.
I think you facing some special problems, I think. It seems. So due to your own problem, you feel whole world become dark like that, I think. I think world, yes, there is a lot of crisis, a lot of bad things, but also is a lot of good things. So, I'm a person, now age 78. So I observed the major portion of 20th century and the beginning of this 21st century. Of course, there are a lot of crises, but still there are also, you see, many positive things which give us encouragement. 1996, when I had opportunity meeting with Queen Mother of England. So her own age, 96. So when I had the audience, I asked her, since you observed the whole century, I think she born the first beginning of the 20th century. So I asked, world become better or remain same or worse? Without hesitation, she answered me, better. Reason, she used two reasons. One, when she was young, nobody much concerned about human right. And also nobody, you see, much concerned about the concept of right of self-determination. Now these two things are universal. She used these two things to prove world become better. Then judge, early part of 20th century, later part of 20th century, much positive change took place. Environmental issue, and also now in the science also, and till later part of 20th century, the science only talks about matters. Some scientists even denying existence of mind. So now many scientists really showing interest and carry investigation about emotion, about mind. And then ecology, even the Green Party developed mainly concern of ecology. And then the nuclear holocaust till mid the previous 20th century, I think 50s, 60s, even 60s, still you see the potential of nuclear holocaust there. But that now completely gone. And then already start talking, you see, denuclearized. Although already take step to control nuclear weapon. Now, even if you talk about free nuclear weapon from this earth, now ideas now come to more sort of alive. So these are really wonderful. And then number of people in the number of sort of the businessmen in early part in their sort of world, their circle, not much talk about these moral principles or compassion, these things. In business world, compassion not much role. Nowadays, many businessmen, many big companies, leader of because of multinational companies, many of them really now showing interest about compassion, love, these things. So these are the indication we humanity basically becoming more mature. So there's plenty of reasons feel more optimism. So that person questioner think more these lines. Sometimes the people have the impression humanity are bad. Basic nature of a human being is bad, negative. So whole world future of world doomed. I think last year, according Maya civilization, Latin American, some old civilization. I think you see they have some kind of sort of concept. 2012 is the end of the world. Now already 2013. So world still there. Not disappear. So we have to face more problems still.
Yes.
If world really end, then no longer any problems. Yes?
Your Holiness, and the next question, I'll preface it by saying that the French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre many years ago said that when we are born, our parents put wrinkles on our souls as children, and we spend the rest of our lives trying to iron them out. Now, this lady's question.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this lady says she has anxiety. Her name's Kerry. She has anxiety and depression due to the emotionally abusive relationship with her mother. What is the best way for her to feel happier and be a better mother to her own children?
I don't know, you see, children not necessarily follow exactly your parents' sort of say, way of thinking or way of sort of life. If we truly necessary to follow our sort of ancestors, then ancestor, I think several thousand years ago, our ancestor no written language. So we must stop learning these things as a sort of sincerely follow our ancestors' way of life and remain naked. So, you see, your own case, some sort of sad experiences. Now take that experience. Now you must sort of treat your children more affection, more care. Since you already experienced that due to lack of care, lack of affection, you suffer something. So now take that, your own experience, now must sort of, must sort of say, should not follow that way. So you should provide maximum affection and spend more time with your children. And learning affection or love, not just a word. Explaining about the value of compassion, but at the same time, attitude is something very angry face. Then, not much effect. So when we explain about affection, you must show the value or affection of the because of affection through action, through attitude. It's very, very important. Yes, next question.
Next one is from Mark. How do I learn to forgive myself for my past mistakes in order to move forward?
Kursa. There's more realization, more awareness about past mistake, then that brings, again, you see, the demoralize because of your past mistake, and demoralize, then truly failure. Otherwise, you see, realize your mistake, then make some kind of pledge. Now on, I must make a new person. Same body, but new person. Determined.
Thank you for that. Now, this one is from Tammy. She said, please show me how to heal an existing pain and how to forgive those causing me the pain.
Kursa. I think, as I already mentioned, the practice of forgiveness is one of the key sort of practice in all major institutions. According to those theistic religion, one time in Jerusalem, so on our meeting, one Israeli teacher, he mentioned in his class, he mentioned to the student that both Israelis, Jews, and also Palestinians. So he mentioned in the class, when you face some sort of meet is a person who usually you feel some agitation. Then that moment, you should think of that person, the image of God. So after he advised his student about that technique, then he met some Palestinian student. Later, they told him, oh, your advice or your suggestion is immense help. After that, when they passing through some Israeli checkpost, usually they get some irritation. But after they heard using that advice, then visualize image of God, that person, Israeli soldier. That immense help to keep irritation away, to keep calm. So that also one way. Think, you see, because a perpetrator, you see, think the image of God. And then the non-theistic religious sort of follower, or ordinary people, then one Indian master, Buddhist master, you mentioned, when you face some tragedy, then analyze that tragedy. If there is possibility to overcome, then no need to worry. Make effort. If there is no way to overcome that, no possibility to overcome that, then no use too much worry. That's very practical, very realistic. Too much worry, so on top of the problem, the worry also increase more problem. Eventually, your health ruin. So in spite of that problem, try to keep not much worry. That's wise, that's practical. Then?
Another question is from Andrea. She said, what causes loneliness and how can we cope with it?
No, that's mainly mentally. Those are the people, one occasion in Spain, Barcelona, one Catholic monk I met. You see, he spent 5 years in mountain, hermit life, with very little hot meal. When I met him, I asked, I heard you spent 5 years in hermit life in the mountain, lonely. What kind of practice? He mentioned to me, meditate on love. When he answered that, in his eyes, something very special sort of significance. So loving kindness, things there, very friendly, like that. So he deliberately spent such a long period in hermit life, lonely, but mentally thinking, love, so he never feel loneliness. And a big city, a lot of people, but just think oneself, self-centered attitude, and no idea of sense of love. Then, too much competitive sense, then jealousy. Jealousy brings distrust. Distrust brings frustration. So therefore, and fear. Then the lonely feeling automatically comes. So lonely feeling is not creation of environment, but creation of your own mental attitude.
Oh, well, Jenny now says, are we responsible for our own happiness? She said her husband is unhappy and depressed and blames her for his situation.
If there is a certain sort of factor to blame, then you should think more seriously. If baselessly blame, then you should feel more pity, more sort of compassion to your husband. If you say they really, or that person is have any children,
She doesn't say.
Huh?
She doesn't say.
No indication. If the couple with children, then better live together. If no children, then you have freedom to divorce.
Well, then, Carol said there is a very dear friend of hers whose physical health is failing with a very virulent and painful form of cancer. How do you suggest that she negotiates her quest for happiness?
Cancer. That's a difficult question. But then this depends on the patient. If the patient believe God, then think of God. When I carry the surgery about gallbladder, then my doctor is one very specialist, one Indian doctor, a great doctor, very good one. He told me that God creates our body. So God also creates some limitation of these organs, the duration of organs of life. God creates certain limitation. So my gallbladder now already reach end, so must remove. Although I am also not a believer of Creator, then I accept the God's or doctor's or suggestion. Then I took that surgery. So you see, think about God, God's creation. So your unfortunate sort of things seems very unfortunate, but ultimately God's creation. So there must be some meaning. Think that way. And then according believer or belief of the law of causality, then all these experiences due to your own previous action. So now think more sort of determination, more pledge. Now in future, I will never sort of indulge these sort of harmful action to other, like that.
Lynn, say, mental illnesses such as depression and anxiety seem to be more and more common in Western society. How can Buddhist practice help with the treatment of these kinds of illnesses?
I think best thing is you study more these different texts, different books. I think again, you see, as I mentioned before, you see, within Buddhist, there are different mental disposition. So there's different methods to reduce this anxiety, these things. So I think, firstly, you should have more sort of information, more knowledge, these different methods. Then you can choose one method which you feel most effective.
Right. Heidi said, how can we find happiness in the wake of intense grief, whether caused by death of a loved one or circumstances of life that causes great disappointment? How do we transcend these intense emotions?
I think these questions, then individual sort of cases, you see some different background, different causes. So we have to find ways and means to overcome these things according to the reality. So difficult to generalize. But one example, my own teacher, when he passed away, then till my teacher alive, I always feel some kind of solid rock which I can lean. Now that rock no longer. So very sad, much sort of anxiety. But then I think, then I determined, now my teacher no longer with me, but now I have the full responsibility to fulfill my teacher's wish. So that sort of tragedy brings more determination. So once your loved one passed away, Then instead of worry, think, these are relatives. Now I must fulfill their wish. That sadness or sort of event translates into more determination, more willpower. Next question.
Natalie said, when we are having negative thoughts, how do we bring our mind back to equanimity?
That depends on your basic positive way of thinking. Like immune system, body level, immune system, they are good. Then some virus comes, not much disturb you. The basic immune system, weak. Then even slight sort of virus, you see, create a lot of problem. Similarly, basic your mental thinking are healthy, strong. Then some emotion come and go, not much disturb you. But basic way of thinking is weak. Then even if it's slight sort of causes, really create a lot of sort of worry, a lot of sort of what's the anxiety, like that. So, as I mentioned before, the basic sort of way of thinking, the oneness of humanity, and troublemakers also is considered as a brother, sisters, and as a part of the community. These also, my future depend on these people also. So it's thinking these lines. Then your way of thinking becoming more healthier, more stronger. So these are the, I think, you cannot sort of, unless you, you look the whole sort of the position, whole sort of system, difficult.
Rosanna has 2 questions. She said, how do you view the afterlife? And what would it look like when we get there?
Because afterlife. As a Buddhist, I'm Buddhist, like other sort of Indian traditions, we have the concept of life after life. So, we believe that. And also there are some cases who remember about past life very clearly, very convincingly, like that. And then, what kind of real?
They're winding us up.
Real kasota. Ketsana kanishasati. Kasa. Chonyuti. So, next life not yet come. So I don't know. Even I don't know what tomorrow, what next day. Actually, the next day happen, then we know. Otherwise, you see, we don't know.
Well, I won't keep you long. With the second part of her question, and then I'll ask you one of my own.
Right.
The second part of her question, she said, do you have any fears, and what scares you? What frightens you?
When I coming to Australia, or via Australia to via Sydney to Christchurch, yes. New Zealand. From Singapore to Sydney, quite long flight. So Uber sort of Indonesia is quite smooth. Then everybody then is more relaxed. Then all of a sudden, some fear, some passenger even shouting, oh, like that. So that kind of fear. But then, okay, like that.
Well, being as we have to go, we have a few other questions, but I have been told that I can have the indulgence of asking you a question of my own.
Oh,
So I'll ask you that I have a philosophy that we make our own happiness.
yes.
So when somebody said to me, what is happiness? I tend to think of happiness as a state of being, a state of decision. You can decide whether you want to be happy or you don't want to be happy. What do you think of that?
Happiness in the means, 그래 그런 거지 그래서. I think I usually describe happiness in the sense more satisfaction. Happiness not necessarily some pleasure sort of experience, but neutral sort of experience can bring deep satisfaction. Or even some sort of suffering can bring deeper satisfaction. So satisfaction gives you some kind of deep sort of stay. You
feel full of pleasure, joy.
No, something. This deep sort of satisfaction, you see, gives you some kind of full
Contentment, a sense of contentment, maybe?
contentment. I don't know. Contentment, the limited sort of things you contented. Now, satisfaction is something complete, now full. So, not necessarily some kind of experience of pleasure and pain. Even pain sometimes bring satisfaction.
Your Holiness, I have to thank you so much. I have learned much from meeting you today. I have learned, for instance, that we're all on the same road
Yes,
with the ultimate goal,
that's right.
but we're all different travelers. heading
And
the
also
same
same experience of gas.
I don't think I'll ever forget this day. I have to say thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up and put your hands together. Your Holiness. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Your Holiness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
When our next meeting comes,
Yes.
then I will come like this.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming today. Thank you for giving up your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Holiness, next time we meet, I will bring some incense. To burn. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not so long, please.
So, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.